Yes, Hickok 45 here, your internet shooting companion, coming to you from the beautiful hills of Tennessee. Yes, the home of Smith & Wesson and Benelli. Yeah, they're both in Tennessee now. Did you know that? Yeah, I had a little trouble on the gone with some really lightweight ammo, 130 grain, just target ammo, and I put 158 grain round in, which I'm accustomed to shooting mostly, and popped the old gong. Is there a limb in front of it? Kind of. Something. I don't know, maybe the sunlight, it's like a limb or something in front of the gong. Not that that would be obstructed enough to miss it, right? So, yeah, I put a bullet in there I'm more familiar with. Are y'all like that? I shoot mostly 240 grain bullets in 44 Special, 44 Magnum. Typically 128, 158 grain bullets in a 38 or 357. Just kind of my go-to standby. It's what I've loaded, hand-loaded for, oh, how long? 50 years? Yeah, really 50 years. And so, I don't know, I just have a better feel for it. I know where it's going. Within reason. Ammo that is different light load. It's a lighter bullet, of course, but or just a different load of powder. If it's a really light load, you'll get a different point of impact. Enough when you get out there at range like that it could make a difference. Now, right here, if you ever hear me complaining when I miss the cowboy or I miss the pumpkin or one of these plates here close because, well, that's a different weight bullet. That's why I missed it. That's probably not it. I mean, sometimes if you can get some variance even at that distance, but generally not to make you miss, unless you were almost missing to begin with. Yeah, brilliant, huh? So, good to see you today. It's a beautiful fall day. Yeah, well, I'm gonna miss this weather when it gets cold. It gets too cold to come out here. I'm gonna miss it. I really am. Sure am. It's a crazy world we're in this week, right? All the craziness that's going on. So hopefully things will be resolved and we'll be in a better world, maybe. You never know what's going to happen, do you? You never know. Generally in the United States, we have been very fortunate, and it's not by accident, but that we can go to bed at night and sleep peacefully and not worry that we might be dragged out of our bed in the middle of the night, killed, unless by one of our own domestic terrorists, outlaws, which happens, right? So you have to be ready for that. But by and large, we're safer than a lot of places around the world, right? And we don't want to ever take that for granted. And there's a reason for it. As I butcher the quotation, it's attributed to George Orwell, but I think it's not necessarily his. It's like a lot of really good lines. They have been adapted and changed and paraphrased by other people and sometimes other famous people and whatever. So we don't get the original source exactly right all the time. But it doesn't matter it matters if you're attributing something to the wrong source. But if it is valuable wisdom, it doesn't matter in that sense who said it, right? If it's valuable. But the old line about people, whatever, we sleep peacefully at night, resting our head on our pillows or however it goes, peacefully, and can sleep peacefully because rough men, sorry ladies, but rough soldiers really rough men stand ready and willing to do harm in our defense, or however that goes. And we don't ever want to forget that. Don't ever. I don't. I realize I don't today, other than an outlaw, a criminal. I don't have fear that some helicopter's going to come in with terrorists, or something, and land on my property, and wipe me out, or a troop of them are coming up through the woods. Again, there's some really sick people in the world, so anything can happen. But it's going to be more of an individual or a small group or a couple of ne'er-do-wells, right? So it's probably not going to be an invasion of some sort, right? So anyway, but it's why do I not worry about that too much? It's because, again, it's those rough men and women, those willing men and women to do harm in my defense, right? We don't want to forget those people. And, that's what makes it so lame when people, gosh, they want to defund the military, or not that the military makes the best use of every dollar, we know that, right? But any bureaucracy wastes money, but it's the nature of it. But defund police, same thing, people who are sworn to protect us. And while they're not perfect, man, they're there and willing to risk their lives. So anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Wow. Because it is a dangerous world, man. And it's a reminder. It's a reminder how dangerous it can be and is in lots of parts of the world. And in this country, the United States, it's a reminder of how generally lucky we are. And it's not an accident. It's not an accident. We have to be vigilant. Okay, so I'm glad you're here. And again, this is a Sunday video. Yeah, too much talking on a Sunday, right? Everybody got that? I saw a comment. What was it? Oh gosh, I ran across it because I do skim comments, especially on Sunday videos, and because you're all the most loyal group and avid watchers. But it was something, I forget which Sunday video it was. I may have run across it, but somebody said something about I don't know, it wasn't a very good review of whatever gun I had out here, And he's like, yep, you're right. It's not going to be a very good review of that gun or any gun on a Sunday, because I don't do gun reviews, if I ever do, on a Sunday. But as someone who wasn't aware of the Sunday video and what the Sunday videos are, right? They're lame. Let's face it. They're lame. Way too much talking. Oh, you saw what I brought out? Yeah, man. Colt Python. I was fondling this thing this week, actually changing grips out on it. I took the grips off my Anaconda. These are Eagle grips I bought for the Anaconda. And I'm having a hard time shooting that Anaconda accurately. I just really am. And just to satisfy my ego, I'm blaming it on the grips being too thin. And I think that is a lot of it. They're really too thin for the Python even. Smaller kicking firearm. They're just, can you see, they're kind of thin. Just like the grips on the 2020 Python. They're just too thin. For me, you pick up an old Python and like this one and the grips that were on it, I took them off, obviously. I put them on the Anaconda. That was the main reason I did it. They're thicker on the old Pythons. And I thought, I'll put those on there and try them out. I looked at some at a gun show in Louisville. And by the way, it's good to meet a lot of you up there in Louisville at the gun show last weekend. But I almost bought some. A guy had a bunch of grips, and he had a pretty thick set for a Python or Anaconda. In fact, they felt almost too thick, and I didn't have a gun to put them on. So I almost bought them, but then I didn't. And so anyway, I took the thicker grips, the old Python grips, and put them on the Anaconda, and they do feel a lot better. I haven't fired it yet, So, you know, I mean, this is kind of a collectible. All pythons are old ones, and I've got those grips, you know, marked. Won't ever let them get away. They go in this gun. I may end up putting them back on this gun if I find something for the anaconda I like better. But I'm going to shoot that and see if I shoot it better, and I'll just leave them on there. They're supposed to fit. Old python grips are supposed to fit the new python or the 2021 anaconda. And but you know, they don't. They overlap on the back. Both panels do a fair amount, almost enough to hurt your hand. So they don't fit, and they're the stock grips on this python, 1981 python. So anyway, I know you were dying to know about all that, right? No, as I was doing it and putting the eagle grips, which fit beautifully on here, and man, they look good on that, I think. What do you think? What do you think? Get the light on right there. But those are beautiful grips. Man, they are. I've got to compliment Raj on those. Eagle grips make some beautiful grips. I forget what kind of wood it is. He told me at the NRA meetings when I bought them. But man, they really look good on this gun, I think. So, you know, I may just leave them on here, even if I get some more grip, different ones for the anaconda. But as I was doing that, I was about to say, I was looking at the python, fondling the python, admiring it, reminding myself, gosh, what a beautiful firearm. I mean, it's rare to run into somebody who doesn't like the looks of a python. You may not like Colt as much as Smith & Wesson, and I'm kind of in that category myself as far as operational and shooting it, function, ergonomics. The grips just never seem to feel quite as good on a Colt double action. Double action now a single action, I love Colt, but on a double action Colt revolver, you got the different operation of the cylinder latch, but then you also have a little bit different grip feel, yeah, and not quite as good. Now, they're fine, but not quite as good to me, almost across the board, just enough difference. But oh boy, on the python, it just doesn't matter. It's so beautiful. It's a great gun otherwise, right? But just the contour of it, I was thinking that the red barrel, of course, I love, most people do, and even on the frame, you know, the way it's kind of pinched right here, and you just look at that, and the ejector rod housing, the underlug. A lot of revolvers back in the day didn't have that underlug, right? Can you think of many in 1950 or 60 or 70? But the python's always had that look. It's always looked like an L frame. Okay, Smith & Wesson didn't really have that, really, did they? Until the L frame, I think. But they were kind of copying the python with the L frame, a little bit heavier duty. I guess the python is it's more of an L frame than a K frame, right? If we're comparing with Smith, but just the perfect size, the feel, looks. Well, I say feel if you got the right grips on it. Just a beautiful. It's the supermodel. It's the Cindy Crawford of revolvers. I know I'm an old guy, so Cindy Crawford is Cindy Crawford, Christy Brinkley, right? Some of you don't even know who those ugly women are, right? Anything but ugly. But yeah, it's kind of the Cindy Crawford of revolvers. I've always thought that. Supermodel. Yeah, I mean, it just really, so I thought I need to shoot that thing again. I think I had it out on a Sunday not all that long ago. I really do. And Gun Fun Targets made us a new batch of paper targets. So we appreciate them doing that for no charge, really. So it's great that we have so much good support. Ballistol Talon grips. And gosh, I got another revolver out here. I got two of them I was going to shoot today. Well, mainly I wanted to shoot the python. And I thought, well, you know, since I've got 38 out here, maybe I should shoot my Kimber K6xs some. I've been carrying it the last several days. I go back and forth, and this is one definitely in the loop. I just like it, boy, when I'm carrying this thing. I really do. And I guess speaking of helpers, Alabama holster, Appreciate their help. I love their pocket holsters and their belt holster. Great outfit. Appreciate their help. But anyway, yeah, that's what I've been carrying lately, and that is just a nice package. You know, I think I was this way a little bit. I was a little dumb and ignorant a little bit. Believe that? Yeah, you might believe it, but not a little bit, right? No, I used to think if I'd see a pocket holster, even if it was not Kydex, but especially a Kydex pocket holster, I look at that thing. Oh gosh, that thing looks big in my pocket. Because I was thinking with various guns I have pocket carried, you know, some little cloth-like kind of thing. It was just soft and pliable and not maybe as big, and just kind of a glove for the gun. It didn't really expand much beyond the size of the firearm. It just made the most sense. You know, the less is more, was what I was thinking. But as I got to pocket carrying more and trying Kydex pocket holsters, I realized, okay, actually all that matters, with Kydex you get a thinner holster. So it's kind of the opposite, you know, because some of the other materials are just thicker, and so you get more of a bulge or a bigger pocket. But Kydex can be very strong and be paper thin almost. And so, you know, you don't really have a big bulge in your pocket. And also, it's actually better if the bottom of a pocket, again, this is pocket holster 101, I guess I'm talking about. But, and they make a couple different ones. I guess other people do too. What's it called? Oh, I know, they make a cargo. Yeah, I should be reminding you all of that occasionally, since they're one of our sponsors. They make because I have one. I got one and tried it. And in fact, I carried it in my regular pocket for a long time. I need to find it. I forgot what gun it was for. Maybe the P365. But it has a kind of a, it's maybe flatter on the bottom. And a lot of you wear cargo pants or shorts, and it might be interesting to you. It's flatter and a little wider maybe, and I'm thinking the hook had more of a hook on it maybe, I don't know, but look it up on their website. But anyway, I put that in my regular pocket and then actually used it. I know, my regular slash pocket is what I'm saying. And not that a cargo pocket's irregular, right? Because it wasn't too big for me. And yeah. But anyway, that platform is the point I was getting to. The platform, it doesn't matter how big it is, as long as it fits in your pocket okay, right? That's kind of the important thing, you know, and it's not rolling over and turning over in different position than you wanted it to be. So ideally, I guess, it'd be as big as the bottom of your pocket, almost as long or whatever it needs to be. But the pants vary, so you just have to experiment, right? So anyway, a little lecture on pocket carry. So I was gonna shoot this a little bit since I have it, and you know, you need to shoot whatever it is you carry. You need to shoot it. Fire that thing, okay? Again, it's a crazy world. Can be a dangerous world. You know, and you know, horrible things can happen on a large scale in certain countries, and have a large scale, even in this country, you know, 9/11 and different things. But you can have a large scale, this catastrophe and tragedy in places around the world, like it's happened this past week and all that. But by the same token, if somebody hurts somebody in your family or you, guess what? That's just as big for you and your family, right? Just as big. It's like they say about the unemployment rate. You know, if the unemployment rate doesn't mean a whole lot, if it's 3% or it's 5%, well, that means a lot. But I mean, if you're unemployed, then the unemployment rate is 100% for you, right? If you lose your job, it's 100% for you. So when things actually affect us directly, it can be just as catastrophic, devastating, just as big a catastrophe if something happens to you or your loved ones, right? As you know, if you have an offspring, a brother or a family member that was murdered, some of you probably do. you know, based on the numbers. The odds are, well, you know, maybe it wasn't in 9/11 or some big famous event, but for you, it's just as catastrophic, right? So anyway, I got to shoot some here. Here I am yakking too much. All right, this beautiful python. Let's fire this thing. Hard to beat. Hard to beat. Let's shoot some. I don't know. How about some? You got some PMC Magnums, some Steinel. I think I've shown you that picture. I'm supposed to shoot this in revolver because it has a revolver on it. Steinel ammo. Of course, it's 38 special, right? So I'm probably going to be firing it in a revolver. I guess it's a 9mm. That would be appropriate comment. But in their 9mm ammo, I think they have a semi-auto on the box. Right? So let's shoot a little of this. Okay. Oh yeah. Read the descriptions. Okay. Oh, I hate to get this purdy gun dirty. No, I don't. Well, let me try the gong again. Oh, nice. You can tell it's 38, can't you? Instead of 357 Magnum. Why, pray tell? Come on. Yeah, that's right. Because it takes a while to get there. How about that orange 2-liter? Yeah, it didn't take long to get there. Yeah. So how long do you think it took to get to the gong? From the time I fired the gun until you heard it? Is that how long it took it to get there? That's not correct, is it? That's not the correct answer. And I'm not joking. Some of you know what I'm talking about. What is that, about half the time it took? Yeah, about half the time. Because guess what else takes time if you're not thinking this Sunday or whatever day you're watching this? It takes time for the bullet to get there. It smashes the gong. And then what else has to happen before we hear it? Yeah, the sound has to travel all the way back over here to us in order for us to hear it. And if there's a few leaves falling, that sound might get blocked by the leaf and we might not hear it. Yeah. In fact, that's the excuse I need to be using whenever I miss the gong from now on, or anything at long range. Yeah, there's a leaf that was falling just as I shot, and it blocked the sound of my hit. Does that make sense? Would you believe that? Would you fall for that? Let's shoot a Magnum since we're being instructional here. And I've got to hit the gong, but if I hit it, you can notice the difference in the time. Oh, more physics lessons. You'll hear the sound sooner. Is that because the sound gets back faster? No, I don't think so. Because the bullet got there faster. So that actually does kind of tell you, doesn't it, how long it takes for the sound to get back. It shows you really that the sound coming back, I guess, is not as long as it took for that 38 special to get out. We'll see. You be the judge. Of course, I got to hit it. This is some PMC. All right. 158 grain, I think. Yes, my favorite, 158 grain. All right. Let's see how long it takes for you to hear it. Of course, I'll hear it first because I'm closer to it. You're another couple of feet back. Well, it could be more than that. You could be sitting like, the camera's a couple of feet further back, but you might be sitting in the easy chair in the back of the room you're in watching the TV or something up here further. So it might have like 30 or 40 more feet to go to get to you. All right, I'll behave. Watch me not even be able to hit it now. After all of that. All right. Did you tell the difference? Now that's not horrible in terms of recoil, so I don't know what the velocity is on that. But yeah. Oh, okay. Almost 1,500 feet per second. So it's trucking along, I guess. All right, so you tell the difference there? Let's shoot the pumpkin. You want to? Pumpkin. Give him a couple eyes at her nose. And you, cowboy. Yeah. Maybe I need to. No, I have to do it. I was going to say on the annual pumpkin carving, and you better have seen this year's, posted a week ago. But I started to say maybe I shouldn't hollow it out because that makes a, I don't struggle, but we hollow it out, okay? Like a good jack-o'-lantern should be hollowed out. And it doesn't make that big a hole, is my point. That big, whatever. Now, it's not the hole that's so big. For whatever reason, well, I guess you get pressure in there and it blows back out. You get a bigger eye, put it that way, bigger nose, whatever. You get a bigger hit when that pumpkin's not being cut yet, like that one, okay? Which would actually look better in some ways. It would just take one round for each eye and a round for a nose. I wouldn't have to go back and try to hit them again because you can barely see it and all that sort of thing. But now when I get down to the mouth, I'd have trouble. I would definitely have trouble. Yeah, and the mouth is the trickiest part on carving a pumpkin with a gun. Excuse me, I've shared that through the years. It is, and it's one reason it's very, very difficult with a more powerful gun, rifle, various things, whether you're trying to do it with an AK or whatever it might be, because it just naturally blows more, and can create a mess very easily. So there you go, Mr. Pumpkin. We have to work on him some more. Let's put some more Magnums in, okay? What else did you want to know about? Oh yeah, I was also thinking as I had this thing out, fondling it, changing the grips, how long it'd been since I'd had one of these. And now I went through a period of time. I had, I don't know, 3 or 4 in my life, more, but I have gone through a long time because without one just like this, because I traded off my 6-inch blue one back in the 70s. Bought it in the 73 or 4, or 2 or 3. Yeah, no, 3 or 4, 73 or 4, one or the other. Either, I think, the late in 73 or early 74. And then I traded it for something. I don't know. That was sad. And that I did that. And I was just realizing that I've had a 50-year love affair, basically, with a Python, especially the 6-inch blued version, because I've missed that one ever since. And of course, I got this one a few years back. Y'all remember that maybe? And I remember back in the 70s, in the early 70s, I was so pleased with it. I just really liked it. I don't know why I let it get away. I traded for something I needed to have. But 50 years, yeah, almost exactly. 2023 back to 1973, maybe early 74. So for 50 years, I've been admiring these beautiful pythons and owning them and enjoying them. So pretty cool, pretty cool. I was thinking a time span too. I graduated college in 73. It's just this easy number, 50 years ago, and it's been 10 years this fall since I was teaching. So I've been out of teaching for 10 years. A lot of round numbers involved there. And what was another one? Well, it's also been exactly, this doesn't interest you all that much, but I had a laptop, helped start a laptop program where I was teaching in 93. So it's been 30 years since I went through that ordeal. It was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears getting that going. But if anybody is watching that was in those classes, you remember those days, 93, 94. So that's been 30 years. It's amazing how time flies. Wow. Where does it go? Where does it go? Let's just ruin that pumpkin's day. Yeah, work on him. Mess him up. Am I empty? Yeah. Oh boy, nothing like a python. I'm kind of, well, I'm not sad about it, but you know, it's a figure of speech. It's a shame. These things are so beautiful. I guess it's a shame that that probably very few people buy these anymore to shoot. And I don't shoot it too much, but you've been to gun shows and you've seen people might have 2 or 3 or 5 of them, you know, in a gun case for sale, and they're $3,000 or $4,000, and they're beautiful nickel or blue, whatever they are. They become like collecting art or something, and because they have gotten so expensive, that I just imagine a lot of people don't shoot them at all. There's probably a certain percentage of people that always wanted a python, never to get one, couldn't afford it, and now they got some money and they're just going to spend that money and get a beautiful python. They always wanted one, and they're going to take it out every now and then and wipe it down, but never even think about firing it, because it'll be so much more valuable if it's unfired, you know, whatever. And just a lot of them, I have a feeling, are like that, because they're so beautiful. And I think even back in the 70s and 80s and 90s, they were always a little more expensive than Smith. That's probably one reason you see them in gun shows, and you see a lot of them look like they've never been fired, you know. Of course, you see a lot of Smiths like that too, but I guess a lot of people just bought them and put them away and did not fire them, or just fired them a couple of times. I don't know. But they are just gorgeous, gorgeous revolvers, and were really originally designed to be a 38 special, you know, just a target revolver. And then I think the pressure from Smith & Wesson with their 357 or whatever, they decided to make a 357 and go with that. But you know, it's just gorgeous, gorgeous guns. Yeah. Okay. I was going to shoot this some. Okay. Might as well get them both dirty. You know, when you're doing your gun cleaning, if you do take, I guess that's a smart thing to do. You don't always, you don't want to shoot just based on that, or choose what guns you take to the range based on just the caliber, maybe. But some of y'all might do that, like well, I'm gonna go to the range Saturday afternoon. What do I want to shoot this week? Well, maybe you take 2 or 3 of your ARs, your 5.56s, or you take all your 44 Magnums. You got 2 or 3 of them, or your 2 or 3 of your 38 specials. You know, I'm just going to shoot 38 today, 357 or something. You know, when you get home and you're cleaning, depending on how you do it, I still use a rod. You know, with handguns, I use snakes on rifles and shotguns, but I still use a rod to patch on these kinds of things. So it is kind of handy. You soak some patches and Ballistol, whatever you use, and you could run through 2 or 3. The same with 9mm. I'll break down like 3 9mm. We've done a video, whatever it is. I got 3 9mm. I get them apart, and I'll clean like all the slides, and I'll clean all the frames, easy part usually, and then I'll have the barrel soaking. And then I'll soak a patch. About to get a little hoarse. And I'll run that patch through like all 3 9mm barrels, you know, or like with these, when I clean them, I'll get a soak patch, you know, through the chambers in the Python, then the chambers in the Kimber, then barrel. Then I'll get another patch cleaner. Do the same thing until the patches start coming out clean. You know, just and they'll all be clean. So you can kind of assembly line it differently. Same kind. You don't have to, but you can. All right. All right. I got this thing loaded. The Kimber K6xs. Y'all have seen it. I think I still like it. I still like it. Let's put it in the pocket holster, and let's just pretend I have been surprised by some bad guys. And there's one of them right there. Yeah. in an evil pumpkin. Well, I thought I hit the steel going through it. I'm not sure I did. Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna have to shoot it again. It is 38 special. You cannot fire magnums in it, but that's fine. I just I carry in my carry guns. I carry 38 plus P anyway, even if it's 357. All right, I'm gonna pretend I was surprised by this pumpkin. I did not expect him to be a menace. Yeah, I was just minding my own business, and oh no, what are you doing? You shouldn't have been bothering me. See, I'm used to a 5-shot. Oh boy. Yeah, I like this thing. I really do. And that's what you ought to do. Whatever I do, you should do, right? Because I'm always correct. No, it is good advice to shoot whatever you carry every now and then. And also to shoot your carry ammo. And, you know, just shoot that stuff out. Make sure it's working. And feels like what you thought it felt like. Hits where you thought it hit and all that. So, pretty cool. Quite a contrast though, right? Look at that. Basically an aluminum pocket pistol versus the beautiful Python 6-inch. Yep, a little different, huh? Oh, yeah, a couple of things I meant to mention. I early on, I didn't. Boy, I got a knot on my shoulder. I messed up. I was shooting a 45-70 this week. Not even that many rounds. I got down on the shooting table, and I knew I was in an awkward position. And I had that thing, a steel butt plate, no pad on it. And boy, it just caught on the bone, and I had badly. I never do that. I never get down on the shooting table and bench rest and all that kind of thing. And I was just, I don't know why I did that on that one shot. And oh man, it went off, I could tell. But yeah, someone said that that somebody on TikTok, Hickok45, a user named Hickok45, told them that they had won something and go to whatever you can imagine. I see that on YouTube, you know, so imposters everywhere. But anyway, I'm not on TikTok, and I am never going to leave a comment or stupid stuff like that. You all see that stuff all over the internet, right? And the one advantage of doing the Sunday videos is anything that's going on, I'm going to especially talk about it on a Sunday. You know, if we got some kind of promotion going on or whatever it would be, you know, it's the only time I know that I'm going to, it's only timely video that we do. Okay, it's timely in the sense that at least you know it's this certain week. And I could do something like that. I could announce something, you know, because, you know, y'all see the videos, who knows when, you know, 5 weeks after they're done, the day they're done, they're posted, a year later, 10 years later, whatever. So it's not like a weekly TV show or some kind of thing, you know, the news show or something. But anyway, Sunday is fairly timely. Okay, so if I'm telling you about something like the meet and greets, I'm going to be somewhere, you know, 3 weeks from now. Well, I know that, you know, that unless you don't see it at all, that the timing at least is correct on my talking about it today, and something like that. But I would talk about it. You'd know about it, you know. So just be aware of that. Okay. Yeah, man. One thing I might do, I talked about a couple of interesting questions that I don't take 4 hours to talk about here, but if you have a question, I might just every now and then and just collect questions that I get from you. This would be beyond the FAQ videos we do. We got about 90 or so of those in a playlist, you know, questions we get pretty often, but someone asks something that would make a good topic for a brief discussion or something like that. I might talk about it on Sunday, but I might just every now and then, time or two a month, I don't know, just do a sit down and answer some of the key questions that we get. not in a live kind of stream thing. I might go out and sit in the woods and do it, or something like the old shooting the breezes, but not on any regular basis, but just on whatever. So you might watch. But anyway, the reason I mention it is if you have a question, and this would be a good place for me to mention it, because I look more closely, or I scan through the Sunday video comments more closely probably, and more likely to see it. So you think of a question that you have, or maybe you think other people would have, I don't know, but a question that would be answerable, okay? And I might gather up when I get whatever 8 or so of those, or 10. I might just get a chance to come out and sit in the woods and answer those questions, okay? Post a video. The kinds of questions, questions that would be, well, I don't want to say easy to answer, but something that you think I would know. I'm not planning to go do a bunch of research on, like, well, you got Google, but I mean, like, what was one was about, I don't know, something you think I would just know off the top of my head, probably, okay? That I have, or something I have experience with, certain guns, certain calibers and things like that. Not so much, what do you think of I don't know, some random gun. There are only 20 of them made in the world or something. I'm not probably going to know about it. So things you just sort of are pretty sure I would know or have an opinion on in the firearms world, okay? Something like that, about I don't know, a Python or a Model 27 Smith, or guns that I have, or which would be better for a certain thing, do you think, whatever. So you all know probably better than any viewers more about me and the videos and what I would know about, and what I might have maybe a semi-valid opinion about even, okay? So anyway, if you think of something like that, post it. Maybe it'll be something I try to answer, okay? Don't be offended if I don't answer your question, but throw them out there, will you? All right, what else? What should I shoot? How about the Python again? Okay. Oh man, like I said, I went to a Louisville gun show last weekend. That was nice. Met a bunch of you, like I said. I had a bunch of you at Longhorn coming home too. Good to see you. Good to meet you all. Then that was in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Yeah. So it's a pretty good gun show. Pretty good gun show. Louisville National Gun Day. And I always enjoy that. It took me a long time to get through there, talking to you all, but then also some of the vendors. I've been doing this so long and going to gun shows so long, I know a lot of the vendors, and it's kind of like old home week in some ways. Just running into people that are in the business or they're just always at gun shows selling guns. Maybe I bought a gun from them in the past or whatever. But that was cool. I was cruising up through I don't know what road I was on. It reminded me I was Creedence Clearwater Revival, Susie Q. The song came on, and you know how songs take you to the past. Well, unless it's a song that just came out yet today, right? But old songs are classic songs. Some of them really take you to the past, and that's one of them for me, because I remember driving between Clarksville, Tennessee, and Bowling Green back in the day, kind of the same area where I was, and in my '55 Pontiac, and that coming on the radio, the AM radio, because it was the top 40 song or whatever, top 20, and top 10, I don't know. And of course, it's a long song, and it would go on, and it just, I don't know, I was cruising along 2-lane road, and my old Pontiac, I was so pleased with that car and everything, and that would have been 1969 or 70, and it just takes me back when I hear it. And I was in my new car, of cruising up the road and just thinking about how things had changed. And again, that was like over 50 years, 52 years ago. And how things have changed, and here's that same song playing. And, you know, different car, quite a different car, you know, in different times, but still good music, you know. But it's interesting how songs take you back, isn't it? Some might take you back to bad times, though. All right. What do I got? What do I have? Let me look at that again. I was talking to you all when I loaded it. Okay. I kind of like to know, do I have Magnums in here, or do I have 38 special? Am I going to get kicked a little bit? Is it going to be loud? Doggy. Have I tried the Buffalo yet? Yes, I have. All right. I think I hit him. Thought I saw him shake, yeah. Nice. Except I got another one. What's wrong with me today? I think I'm shooting a 5-shot, don't I? What about you, cowboy? Yep, the old Python. Nice gun. Let's shoot this thing again. Since I got it dirty, I might as well fire it, right? Not a lot of difference whether you fire them twice or 20 times or 50 times. Since I have it, I'm going to go out, come out of the pocket. All right. All right, yeah. What are you doing? I really like that too. It ain't as purty. It ain't as purty, I'll have to say. But purty is as purty does. And it's very important for that one to be functional and to work when I need it. This one I want to work also, but it's a range gun, you know. It's a range gun. I'm not going to be carrying that, even though, who was it, Hutch from the old Starsky and Hutch TV series, he carried this exact gun in that show in a shoulder holster. You remember that, some of you older folks? I don't know if that thing is on anywhere on TV. I haven't seen it in decades, but yeah, he carried a 6-inch Python in a shoulder holster. I thought that was pretty cool, actually. Pretty cool. And of course, beautiful revolver. Great for TV, right? What do I need to share for goofy young people? Anything? Well, how about some good news, bad news? I am not a financial advisor, right? Don't claim to be. So, but good news, bad news. Just reality for people. I wish people had taught me this more fervently when I was young. But when you retire, it'd be cool to have $1 million, right? Well, depending on how old you are, that may not be a whole lot, right? But if you have $1 million, put it this way, it's going to take $1 million if you follow the 4% rule, which is not a rule, but I mean, it's a kind of a guideline that you won't go broke when you're not working anymore if you just take out 4%, or at least the first year, and then you raise it for inflation each year. It's kind of the way that works. But think of the first year, you have to pull money out, or you don't have any money. Whether you're 65 or you're 40 or you're 90, whatever, the first time that you do not have a paycheck from your employment. If you take 4% of that, and that's about the only, there's debate about whether you could take 4 or 5 or 6 or 3% or what and still have your money last, but it's around 4%. So that would give you an annual income of $40,000. Okay, so one reason I point that out is too many people think, wow, you got $1 million, you're rich. Yeah. Well, it means if you're using that to live on, you can pull off 4% a year and not jeopardize it going down to nothing, you know, over 10 or 20 or 30 or whatever. That means you really have 40,000. what that means. You have 40,000, that's before tax, 40,000 a year. So whatever your salary is now, okay, think about that. So you might have stars in your eyes about being a millionaire. Well, you're a 40,000-aire, really, to live on before tax. So just a reminder, and that's kind of the bad news. That's kind of the bad news if you're not, I don't know, numbers-wise. Okay, you hadn't thought about that. The good news is, what did I remember. And you think, well, I'll never have $1 million, so I'm in worse shape than that. Well, depending on your age. If you are 24 years old, and you know, in that vicinity, and you start saving even just $200 a month. Think about it, $200 a month, and just investing it in a good index fund, you know, the S&P 500, whatever. Typically, those historically have brought in, you know, between 8, 10, 11%, you know, over through history. Okay, so you plug in even 8 or 9%, you get $200 a month. Okay, say you're 24. $200 a month. When you're at retirement age, or the classic 65 years old, if it does make 9%, that is $1 million. So that's the good news side of that. If you're young, I wish someone had pointed that out to me more clearly. That that almost anybody watching can be a millionaire. All right. It just takes time and the compounding of the interest. Right. $200 a month. Who cannot afford? And there's people who can't. But anybody who is gainfully employed, works hard, maybe you have 2 jobs or whatever, you're a professional, maybe you're a teacher, whatever you're doing, you know, that you should be able to scrape together a couple $100 a month. Hopefully more. Some people save a lot more than that, a much higher percentage of their income, but just 200 will be $1 million. Okay, all right, by the time you're at retirement age. So that's why you hear about people having a lot of money, because they save more than that. They may save 500 or 1,000 a month or whatever, depending on their income. Okay, but anyway, just that's the good news side of that. That, you know, you can do that. You can do that. It's not magic. You know, it sort of is the magic of compounding interest. You know, does that. So anyway, as I have said before, get a just open up a what do you call it? Well, a calculator, a retirement calculator, a compounding interest calculator, whatever, and just put in numbers and how much you would need to put in. It'll give you, put in your age in a box and how much you have saved. And that's with nothing saved, a couple $100 a month. You start out with 5,000, 10,000 or something, and then you continue adding to it. It'd be more, maybe a lot more. But anyway, just keep that in mind. That's the good news. You don't have to save thousands every month. You know, you can get there. That's the good news. All right. Now we don't know what any of it will be worth by the time you are 65. That's for sure. But we'll see. Hope for the best. Get started. That's the main thing. That's my advice to young people. My advice to young people. There's no magic. It just takes that slow growth over the years, and then you can be there. Keep it in mind. Anything else? I'm getting all choked up. Another swig. Feel better. Okay, I'm gonna shoot both of them maybe one more time. Then I'm gonna go into cleaning mode and get you all out of here. I tell you, they're definitely gonna clean this well. I clean all my guns well, but you don't want to leave this beautiful python dirty, do you? And I know there are people who are not all that impressed with the python. I am, even though I prefer, I think, and I have over the years, to shoot the Smith & Wesson. When I used to shoot in competition revolvers in the USPSA events, I always shot the Smith & Wesson, the model 625 or 686. I could shoot them a little faster, like the way they operate. I could manipulate them a little faster than the Colt. And but I just like this, such a beautiful gun. I mean, most of us are not competing with whatever it is we like to shoot, so it doesn't matter that much, right? Oh, there's someone who has remained unscathed. I'm going to pick him off from around that plate. Watch this. I'm going to pop him. Clean everything out. I finished him off too. And you too, bowling pins. And when the last shot, I missed one. I apologize. I'm sorry I missed him. That's the way it goes. And let's shoot this guy one more time. Okay, shoot him with jacketed ammo since the last shots. Okay. Kimber K6xs. I've heard from several of you on this firearm since I started posting on it, since I got one, and that people who have them and like them. So I haven't heard anything negative about them breaking apart yet or anything. So that's always good, right? It's always good news. It's a firearm you might be relying on. So a couple of revolvers. I was in revolver mood. I'm sorry, you never know what mood I'm going to be in. I might be in I don't know what mood I might be in next week for an AR-15 or a single shot rifle. It's just you never know, do you? Some of it just depends. I may be digging around in a safe and, oh man, there's that thing, I need to shoot that. Or maybe I don't know, a video pops up, or you leave a comment on a certain video, or I just run across something, oh, there's that video. I forgot about that gun, or I haven't shot that thing for a while, and it just comes to mind, you know. And it doesn't take much to remind me. Again, I'm very lucky. I have some beautiful firearms. You don't need as many guns as I have, but I mean, that's real. It's not just a joke. We use that word need, don't we, all the time? We're always saying we need something. In fact, someone asked me at the gun show, I think in Louisville, when they ran into me and said, well, have you found anything you need? You know, that's sort of the word we use in the firearms world, and need, knowing is, we use it ironically because we know that we don't need hardly any of them, right? But we use that word. Okay. And but anyway, I don't know where I was going. I was just randomly thinking out loud. So that's what I do on Sunday. I just randomly think, or actually I just talk randomly. I'm not sure I think. That's the problem. Don't always think, because I know it's a Sunday and I don't have to think as much, right? I don't have an objective in mind like I do when we're doing a gun video, a review, call it a review, whatever. And again, this is something I like to do when I'm finished shooting. I'll bet a lot of y'all do this at the range with whatever you're shooting, whatever lube you use. But because I used to do it back when the days when I used WD-40 even, which everybody makes fun of now. But I just do this at the range. I wouldn't clean them at the range. I would just spray them and wrap them up. I don't think I even used socks at the time. I think I didn't. I had silicone rags, those yellow ones. I'd buy those. I had a bunch of those. I would wrap them up in those things. And you know, if you remember those, I think they still make those. I think I ran across one somewhere. They're kind of thick. I think they're Hoppies maybe. But there were lots of different kinds. But these were really kind of thickish, and they're about the size of a handkerchief. And they were thick enough where, and they were really impregnated with silicone or something, that you could wrap it up, and it's definitely not going to get scratched. In fact, protected better than a sock, probably. And I would use that to wipe them down and keep them protected and all that. And but I hadn't gotten into the socks yet for some reason. And then I think I actually started using like socks for your feet occasionally, before I started seeing gun socks of various types and brands for sale. And I gradually I moved to those. But anyway, I do that obviously at the range where we're in. This is sort of like going to the range. I'm 100 yards from the house or the barn. So I confess I don't always do this at the main shooting table. Well, I do sometimes. I think about it, but anyway, I'm gonna get everything back to the house and everything. I maybe even come out later and finish cleaning them or something. So, nice thing about a firearm, if you take good care of it, they will serve you well and return to almost new condition, or like new, or pretty much whatever condition they were in before you shot them that day. Put it that way, right? So you're not going to take a firearm that's kind of patina finish, a lot of the finishes off of it and all that, and then clean it and it looks like brand new. No, not going to happen, is it? But it's going to look like it did when you started that day. That's the main point. So pretty cool. Well, I'm going to let y'all go, and be careful. It's a dangerous world out there, and I guess don't get caught up too much. You get depressed over what you see in the news, although it is kind of depressing. It's very, very, very scary, and a lot of you probably have a hard time watching it. I know my wife does, just watching some of the coverage from Israel. And it's just, boy, you think about some of the stuff people have gone through over there, and it's just rough. It is very, very rough. So yeah, we do. You can't help but feel sorry for those people and be thinking about them. But it's like anything else. We can't let it dominate our lives. But they deserve some attention. They really do. And it's a dangerous world, and we forget easily how easy we have it, how good we have it in large parts of the world, not just the United States, but in large parts of the world. Hopefully you're in one of those. If you're watching these videos, you have an internet connection, and you're not at risk of your life right now or in danger, you probably live in a decent part of the world. And but a lot of people don't. They live in a dangerous place, a place without most of the conveniences that we have. Speaking of internet, and aren't sure what's going to be going on the next day or week or whatever. Maybe where they're going to get their next meal, if they get a meal. So it's easy to forget about that, isn't it? So, but anyway, we all do the best we can, and I'm going to do the best I can every Sunday to bore you sufficiently, okay? And satisfy myself. I'm very selfish. I bring out a firearm. I'm in the mood to shoot most of the time. I think about you all too, but especially if I have a new gun, something that you haven't seen yet, and I haven't shot yet, and let you all witness me blowing it up, blowing myself up, or whatever it might be. So I'll let you go. I'll go clean these babies, and put this one back in the safe, this one back in my pocket, and and then I will get it out another day. I will come up with a reason. I am an expert at coming up with a reason. All right. If I don't bring you in, I apologize. It might be that we just don't really have another video we need to do with it, but I'll bring it out and shoot it anyway. Yeah, I'm getting too old to let any gun get neglected for too long. I don't know how many times will I be able to bring out my favorite Python and savor it and shoot it, right? You never know. So I've got to take advantage of that. Got to take advantage of my Model 29. You know what? Speaking of anniversaries and years going by and nice round numbers, you all know they've been following, been thinking, been remembering what next year is, 2024, which is not that far away. You know what anniversary is coming? One of the big ones. This year was a big anniversary for me, with the 150th anniversary of the Colt single action, the 1873 Winchester, the 4440 cartridge, a 4570 cartridge, a trapdoor Springfield, 45 Colt cartridge. It was a big year in the firearms world, 150th year. Well, next year is the 50th anniversary of what? More of a personal anniversary. Yes, my Model 29 44 Magnum that I bought in, quick, do the math, 1974. I remember it well because I was there. I really was. I was the one who spotted it at the gun show in Nashville, the Fairgrounds gun show, and bought it. Yeah, had a waiting period. Couldn't get it for about 3 days. One of those deals. It was there, Carter Hardware. I think that is not in business any longer. And they sold a few guns. They had a gun counter, and they set up at the gun show. And they had one of those elusive Model 29s in 1974, and I bought it. I happened to go to that gun show. It's funny, ironically, I didn't even necessarily want to go to the gun show. I don't know why. It was a day kind of like today. Well, it was October. Yeah, very much like today. And I don't know, I was in the mood. I don't know. And I remember my wife kind of dragged me off the couch. Oh, let's go to the gun show. You want to go or whatever. So I went to the gun show. And that's where I got my Model 29. So 50 years. So I'll be celebrating that because it is a favorite gun of mine. And then also, it's the only new gun I have bought in my life that I have had for 50 years. Even if it were, I don't know, something I bought on a whim that I'm not crazy about, but I kept it or something, it would be kind of special, wouldn't it? Having it 50 years would make it special. Well, that one is a special gun to begin with. Always has been. It is to many of you. It's still one of my very favorite firearms. And, I have several kind of like it, different barrel lengths, the 44 mag. And that's the one I purchased in 74, and I have managed to hang on to it all this time. So in year 2024, if we're all still kicking and doing videos and you're still here watching whatever we do, maybe I will bring it out. What should I do? Bring it out for every video? Yeah, maybe just have it every, maybe not shoot it, maybe wear it. Yeah, I'll get my, I've got kind of a Dirty Harry holster rig. Maybe I'll just wear it in every video throughout 2024. And then just let new people or people who wander in on one of our videos and don't really watch all the time or whatever, just let them wonder why I am so weird. Who's that weird guy? Or he seems halfway sensible at times, but why is he wearing a big revolver when he's doing a video on an AR-15 or some other thing, and he doesn't even mention that big gun he's wearing? Does he wear that all the time? What is that idiot up to? Yeah, might be fun, huh? So anyway, I'm rambling, so I'm going to let you go. I appreciate you more than you know. Again, that you come in and watch, and I know it's like a constant stream of people telling me that they get unsubscribed or whatever it is, or not getting notified. So again, whatever you need to do, I guess click the bell. Is that what you have to do? Maybe that's what people have not done, or they're actually getting unsubscribed. I don't know, but check it out and come around. We're posting at least 3 videos every single week. The channel is Hickok45. You don't have to be notified. Just come see what we're doing every week. And if it's something that's not too stupid, you might want to watch. Life is good.